morning, Sam.
Morning.
What are you up to this morning, Sam?
Watching the autopilot, making sure that we don't crash into anything.
You working on a story?
Yeah, I'm doing some writing for a character. That's because it's nice and peaceful. It's not rocking around too much. We're on the ICW, so you'd expect it to be a little calmer.
We're hoping to make St. Mary's, Georgia by the evening. I don't know if we'll make it before sunset or not. I think the fishermen are mad at us because they're trying to keep it quiet and we're making all kinds of noise. We've seen 2 sets of pink flamingos this morning. That was kind of cool. Say hi, Hannah.
Hi, Hannah.
It's really pretty out here. We've seen a lot of fishermen, a lot of birds. Saw some dolphins. That was a little interesting. Anamashi is up ahead of us, about half mile. We're slowly catching up to them. We decided to leave the wind scoop up to get some nice cool air into the boat. The water is a completely different color, of course, and it's a heck of a lot easier to walk on deck. But I don't really like the motor sound, although it sounds good as far as the motor sounding good, but I prefer the silence.
Look up here. Look up here, Lila. Lila.
He says I'm not looking at that camera. Lila.
You will look at this camera if I pointed at you.
You're not gonna do it. Hey guys, we're on the ICW by Jacksonville Beach. We just passed a couple of marinas by the bridge. And there's a flats out there where there's several boats running around.
Really sad looking.
Yeah, there's some sad looking boats there, probably from hurricanes or something. But anyway, we've been making good progress. Right now we're doing 6.9 knots speed over ground, 5.5 through the water. But it's been an uneventful morning. I like the countryside better than the city side. There's some expensive homes along this river. Oh my gosh, beautiful stuff. We're having lunch, by the way. Pasta salad. We're not pushing the motor too hard. We're going about 2,000 RPM. I'm pleased with the way the motor's running. Sounds good. It's not smoking.
There was a little bit of a scare over some of the night runs where we had the motor on.
Yeah, it looked like it was smoking. We later figured out it was actually just a little bit of salt spray coming up from underneath, and it wasn't actually exhaust. Well, we saw the same sort of cloud of stuff in the light, even with the engine off.
Yeah.
So the chain drive on our centerboard failed. There's a sprocket here, and there's a chain drive there. The chain is there, but the chain is broken. And the stuffing box is leaking just a little bit. What I want to make sure is that the centerboard is fully up.
That was a lot of moving the wrench, but we did finally find the stopping point.
The chain is broken. we have replacement chain, but for a different kind of chain. It's a very powerful motor, and when it got a little sideways, and there's the joiner chain. We know how many links, we know the size of chain, we can go get chain, we can put it on. But for now, we have no centerboard. I think something got stuck in the chain and it made it go off the trolley and then broke it. We got tossed around in the waves quite a bit, and there was some stuff that wasn't tied down quite as well as it should have been, and I think that that's what caused it. So we're gonna put this chain in a plastic bag, store it away, so that we can get the exact kind of chain. I wish we had some spare links.
Good morning, everybody. It's 6:30 in the morning and we are leaving Cumberland Island, Georgia. We're continuing up the ICW to Brunswick, Georgia, which is where we're going to get a marina for a few days. It's a beautiful morning. It was a beautiful night. It was quiet, winds. We didn't have any bugs. The anchorage was smooth. It was a perfect evening. We had our friends over from Anamashi, and we had drinks and we had cookies and we had coffee cake, and we sat around and talked until about, I don't know, maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And then we went to bed at a beautiful anchorage, and now we're up and on our way again.
I could have used about an hour more sleep.
You could have used an hour more sleep. Alrighty. Good morning, Sam. Good morning, Sam. You're gonna cut it out anyway, aren't you?
We're nearly to Brunswick. This narrow channel, there's a really narrow channel right after the bridge. And we bumped once at 5.5 feet. I didn't see any depths on the depth sounder that showed any less than 6. But it's a super narrow channel, and you got to stay right in the middle of it. I'd recommend go ahead and getting bob track and following that exactly, because this thing is, and do it at high tide. We're doing it at, it's not quite low tide, but it's not high tide either. I can tell from the markers that we're about 3 feet lower. So this is definitely a high tide run. We didn't have time to wait. We have to get tied up before the storm hits.